Welcome to my Hebrew channel, Milabraika. I'm still working with the Silver Scroll and material related to the Silver Scroll. I'm going to be looking at the Shalom Chronicle or the Shalom Inscription, as well as a couple of 2 or 3 passages from the Hebrew Bible that describe the environment or the motivations of King Hezekiah, why he would put so much effort, or why they would put so much effort into carving a tunnel under the city. So it's an interesting study, both on the historical side of it, the archaeological side of it. Many of the things are still visible there. And if you're ever in Jerusalem, once the fighting in Gaza settles down, visit Jerusalem, and most certainly this should be on your to-do list to go visit Hezekiah's tunnel. So, but I'm doing this so that we get a background for what we know or what we've seen in the Silver Scroll. By the way, one of my subscribers mentioned that the Vash doesn't have a dagesh, so it's not a bet. I was putting a transliteration in as a B, but it is a V. Okay, the Vash, no dagesh. It's going to be a V sound here, and the accenting is milra. So devash, okay, devash, honey. Usually bee honey, but can be also honey from the date palm. So there's a passage in Deuteronomy on which it seems more to be honey or anything that's sweet, actually. So devash, sweet stuff from the Word of God. And I have a map here of the spur, the Katev here, Jebushi. That's the original name of it. And then during the time of Hezekiah, the Assyrian army was approaching, led by Sennacherib, and they took down city after city after city after city, leaving Jerusalem until the last. Okay? They were very methodical about the whole thing. They placed Lachish under long siege, and when it fell, it was a terrible scenario. But anyway, in the meantime, that actually gave time to Hezekiah to prepare the city to face up to the Assyrians. The Assyrians were putting on a very, very serious threat, and they were very destructive. They could already see that what was happening in the other places. So they really felt under siege. Now, incidentally, something very interesting about sieges in ancient time. They were just as dangerous for the people inside the city as outside the city. And because outside the city, if you have trouble, political trouble, or if you have health problems or whatever happens, your soldiers can run away from you. Whereas you're inside the city, you're basically locked inside, and you're going to last as long as your food and water lasts. So that was an interesting observation I heard from Gabi Barkai. Hey, putting a siege to the city was just as dangerous for the people outside as it was for the people inside. So this is 2 Chronicles 32, 2 and 3, and it's a description of what Hezekiah did to prepare the city for the Assyrian invasion. So Hezekiah saw that Sennacherib had come, turned his face to fight against Jerusalem. He planned with his officers and his mighty men to stop the waters of the springs that were outside the city, and they helped him. And Vayare Yeheskiyahu, this is a prefix form, verbal form of strengthened. Jehovah strengthens. Okay. Incidentally, in the Book of Kings, you'll have Heskiyahu just with a chet, and in Chronicles it tends to be just a prefix yod here, a more verbal form of the name here. Jehovah gives strength and makes strong. Yehiskiyahu, Hezekiah, Kiba, because he came, Sennacherib, that is, Sennacherib came, Sennacherib, that's the Assyrian emperor. O Fanav, and he set his face, okay, Fan is the face, and actually it's plural here, both of his faces, but usually it's always in the plural. That's normal for this particular construction. He set his faces, or actually it's probably his nostrils. He set his nostrils, the milchama, to place war, to place to fight, okay, to make war. Le milchama al Yerushalayim, against Jerusalem, al Yerushalayim. Va'atz, and then he took counsel. I can remember this one through one of the titles found in Isaiah 9 of the coming Messiah, Pelech Yoetz, okay, the one who is of admirable or great counselor, okay, Yatz is the counsel. So he took counsel, Im with Sarav, with the princes, the leaders, officials, Giborev and his strong men, and I would, when I see this and I see what has happened here in the cutting of the tunnel all the way through, it's a reduced tunnel. You can crouch and walk right through it with your head bent over. You're going to have a bit of a crick in your neck after all that walking underneath here. This took a lot of engineering. So these I would sometimes, I'm tempted to translate these as engineers, okay? Giborav and his strong men, the people who could cut stone, okay? Giborav. Le Shatam, in order to stop up, to plug, okay? There's an English root very similar to this, to stem, okay? Stem, and also stomp, okay? So to stomp it down, so stom, to plug up, and plug up the et maim, the waters, anainot, from of the springs, okay? The Gihon springs. Reason for the plural is that the waters that were coming out of the spring here, some of it went into the city where it was collected in a tank, and some of it, the excess then went down the outside channel. And this outside channel had windows on it where the water would flow out into the gardens that were on this side of the Kidron Valley, on the western edge of the Kidron Valley. That was a well-watered place and it became the king's garden. In other words, one of the greener spots of the area, because it had a privileged source of water. So, yeah, so this is plural. Ha'ayinot, the eyes of the spring. Asher, which, mehutz, which is outside, la'ir, of the city. Ya'azruhu, and they helped him. Okay, Ya'azruhu. This is a plural of Azr. Ezer is to help. You see it in the name like Ezer Kenegdo, or if you see it also in Eben Ezer, okay, stone of help. And here it is as a verb. Third plural verb, Ezruhu, and then they helped him. And we continue here the whole project, the engineering project of cutting through here. Vekevasu, and first English here. First, a great many people were gathered. They stopped all of the springs and the brook that flowed through the land, saying, "Why should the kings of Assyria come and find much water?" I've done a very literal translation here. Some of the other English translators are a little bit smoother, but this is quite literal what we see here. Vekevasu, and then they gathered. They were gathered. This, incidentally, a modern, well-known Hebrew word, kibbutz, is derived from, or is the noun form of this verb here. This is the verb of kibbutzu, and then they kibbutz together. Okay, Yekibutzu, imrav, along with a people, rav, a multitude of people. Okay, a large, long people. Okay, rav, with a great many people, okay, number of people here. So this is Amrav va temo, and then they stopped up, okay, and then they stopped up. Et kol ha ma'anayot, okay? Ma'anayot are the openings of the springs, the waters of the waters, eyes of water. Okay, ayin. It's the same word used for eyes, but these are eyes of water. These are water springs. Okay, plural, feminine plural ending here. V'kol ha'ma'anot, ve'et hanahal, and the brook, the channel, and this is why I have this one in here. This green line here is this particular channel that had to be covered up, had to be filled in. It was not going to be available to the Assyrians anymore. Shotef, and that flowed in the middle of the land, okay, in the middle of this valley right here, or alongside of this valley. Betok haaretz, Lemor saying, Lama, why? Yabu, would they come? Malke is Asur, the kings of Assyria. Why would the kings of Syria come? Yabu, Umashu, and then they would find Mayim Ravim, lots of waters. Ravim, same Rav. Here's the singular Rav for people, and here's the plural Rav for waters. So Mayim Ravim. Now, the Siloam inscription, which was found inside the Hezekiah's tunnel, 25 feet in from the pool side, mentions Vircha, mentions the pool. Okay, and then that's incidentally, I have the thing circled here because you have a pair of hay. You have a hay in the front here. Vircha starts with a hay, ends with a hay. Also picked out on the silver scroll a word that has a hey in here and then a vav in here and then hey vav hey. This is yod hey vav hey. This is the divine name here, and you can see the similarity of the hey. And also right here, we also see haya, same thing. Hey, the hey vav hey, hey yod hey, and then hey yod hey right here, and then see the very similarity of the lettering there. This is a large tablet, about a meter long, about half meter tall, and this one's a really small scroll. I have a replica that I've made here that I carry with me just to remind me of what we're looking at. And this brings us to 2 Kings 20, verse 20. V'yeter devarei Haskiyahu. Now, notice here, this is just a normal verb form of to strengthen. Haskiyahu kol ha-giborotav, and then the rest of the Chronicles of Hezekiah and all of his strong works, his powerful works, Asherasa, which he did, Asherasa et ha-birka, and this is the pool. Now, to make this pool, of course, dig something out there, but also this was actually the far corner of the inside valley. Okay, so you have the Kedron Valley and the inside valley. This inside valley here, the Washerman's Valley. There's lots of different names used for it. Even Flavius Josephus has some names for it, but it's basically the pool that's here at the end. Now there are two of them. There's the upper pool, the lower pool, but the lower pool here was filled in on this end by the wall. So the wall and the pool combination had to go together. You had a wall protecting the city, which turned into like a dam for the water, and then the water was inside on this pool. But of course, for it to make any sense, there had to be a way of bringing the water. Now, previously, this particular outside channel was lengthened out enough to bring water to this pool. But obviously, like I said, this channel had problems because the Assyrians could get their hands on it. It's outside the city walls. They had to make a big job to put the tunnel inside, in some cases 100 meters under the rock, well, quite a ways under the rock here. V'yeter devarei Haskiyahu v'kol givorotov, and all of the events of the Chronicles of the king of Hezekiah, and all of the powerful events, Giborotav, based on Gibor, okay, strong things. Ve'asher asa, which he did, et habirka, the pool right here. This is this pool right here. Ve'et ha ta'ala. Now the ta'ala is the water channel, the aqueduct. Okay, the ta'ala. It's used. There's a different name for it on the inscription. The chronicle is inside here, but this is the ta'ala because it's based on the pronoun going on up. Okay, haba hamayim veha ira, and then to the city. Lo ham katav, are they not written? Besefer devarei yamim lemalchei Israel, are they not written in the books of the scribe and of the kings of Israel, of Judah? And here it is, the silver scroll. Yivaracha Yahweh Yeshmorecha, Yair Yahweh Fanav Alecha V'Yichunecha. The Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and give you peace. Until the next time.